Hi guys, it's Coaching with Carol Lee. How are you today? Today is Wednesday. Yeehaw! Almost a weekend, right? Oh God, don't mind my hair. It's back in a itty bitty pony and it's coming out. So today I want to talk about 6 easy steps to doing a life plan. Okay, this is going back to the video I did the other day. What was it called? Catching up, something like that. The first one I've done in a couple of years, and I had told you all what I was doing the last couple of years, and what goals I had a couple of years ago, and what goals have I accomplished, and kind of how I did it. And it's also based on what I do if I were, coaching you by phone or face-to-face or something. Though in the case of a coaching session, we usually deal with one goal at a time instead of a whole lifetime of goals, which we're only going to do maybe a 5-year goal right now. Excuse me. One thing I'd like to say about the video the other day that I totally forgot to add in or say until I think it was yesterday I was looking at my resume and I'm like, wow, I totally forgot to put one of my jobs down. And mentioned something else. So the one job, I had one part-time job back 2 years ago, plus doing the coaching or getting started with coaching. I had a part-time job and it just wasn't giving me enough hours. I wasn't accomplishing my monetary goals quick enough for my liking. So I went and got another, or not temporary, what do you call it? Part-time. Yeah, so this one was a temporary part-time job. It was only seasonal through summer and fall. So that ended maybe December 1st, we'll say that, 2016. And I was still working the other job part-time, but very little because it was that kind of industry. So in February of 2017, I got a full-time job, and that's the one I mentioned in the other video, doing pretty much like coaching, but it was for the county, or somewhat through the county. They partly funded us. God, I get so new. And I worked that job and my part-time job for 3-4 months, and I finally quit the part-time job because it was driving me nuts mentally, and I couldn't study for my life coach thing. So today we are going to talk about, like I said, a life plan, and I'll show you this book. It's called Living Forward. You can tell I got it really cheap. That's why I bought it, because it looked interesting and it was cheap. And it's a proven plan to stop drifting and get the life you want. And it's by Michael Hyatt and Daniel Harkavy. So I had read the book, and I thought, this is really cool. But this is kind of like a life plan. So back in, here we go again, I forgot to write down the date. I think it was March of this year, we'll say. I had done this, okay? And I had it saved on my computer. I didn't have Microsoft Word for some reason. I bought this new laptop, and for some reason I didn't have that. So I had bought something else that was cheaper. And unfortunately, when I went back to check, that's right. I did not print it because my printer was broken. And I just kept forgetting to look at it, stuff. It wasn't that important. I heard they were printing things, so it kind of went out of my mind. And then when I went to check the life plan out for something at some point, I couldn't get into it. It's like, I knew the program had expired, but I forgot, or they said it was going to expire, or I needed to update it, something. But it costs money, so I'm thinking, and I thought I could still read the files, and no, I can't. So now I have no clue what my life plan is, except for if you watch the other video, it doesn't even matter. I didn't have some of my stuff written down, and it's still, I'll just have to do it over, and, So we're going to get on to just 6 steps, and there's more you could do and stuff, but this is just a simple, let's get started doing thing, okay? So the first thing you want to do is you want to sit down, obviously, with a paper and pen, and this book says give it a whole day. I think, or a whole weekend. I can't even remember. They said don't do it in parts. Blah. I can't do a whole day. You know, I just got other things in my life, and to clear up a whole day for nothing but this, I probably could have. But I'm me. I just started doing it, you know, and it took a couple days or whatever. I didn't do it exactly the way they said, but regardless. And some of the things I have here in my notes are based on the book, and some are just, you know, a few other little things thrown in, or, you know, different explanation kind of. The book, it's a little more intent, other things to do too. But it's all related to, you know, the goal. So, the 6 points, number 1. Ding, ding, ding. I just saw something. Oh, yeah, I'm going to mention that. And I'm not going to mention it at the end because I didn't bring it. I left it in the house. I'm in the camper right now. I'll have to put it on the comments below. A video I watched on YouTube last night, 26 easy ways to save money. And that woman, that was phenomenal. That was phenomenal. I'm going to start doing some of this stuff myself. Some real new, easy ways. You don't even realize, you know. So, yeah. And then my son and I were talking about investing in some cheap stocks and, you know, just all kinds of fun things you can do to, you know, just get that money up there, you know, for your future and even for now. So, number 1 is identify your life accounts or categories. In other words, what's important to you. You have your own account. What are you going to do for yourself? We're talking 5-year here. So where do you see yourself in 5 years? You know, what do you want to be like? Oh, and you know what? I didn't put in my notes. Ooh, this was kind of cool. Before you even do that, or in this category, first off, write your own obituary. Is that weird? Woo! It is very weird. But write it as you want people. I wrote something like, you know, Carol Lee was a kind, caring. I don't know what I wrote, but, you know, write your obituary as you would like people to see you, you know? And that really, I bet, if you're kind of like one of those people that are like, not always nice, maybe it'll help you think, whoa, wait a minute, do I want to put in here, you know, he was a grouchy old dude. So, okay. So a couple of examples are yourself, your marriage, your kids. Do you see yourself traveling in 5 years? Your career, finances. Can't forget finances. That's like the root of it all. You know, I know money is the root of all evil. And you don't need to be a millionaire like a lot of people think. You can, you know, but it is nice to build up, you know, and if you can be a millionaire, why not, right? So you want to list out your different categories. Maybe put, just to make it easier, if you're doing it on a computer, it won't matter. But if you're doing it on paper, maybe a page in your notebook for each category, okay? Because you're going to be doing something underneath each thing. So, number 2, where are you now? Okay? For yourself, you know, where are you right now? For your marriage, gee, you know, we've been married so many years, you know, we've got this going on for us, we need to work in this area, or just a general synopsis, is that the word I'm looking for? Of, ooh, it sounded like rain. I think it was coming off the trees. It did rain yesterday. So you want to, yeah, what was I saying? Where are you now? You know, do a little assessment on yourself, write it all out, and once you're done, continue to step number 3. 3 is write a purpose statement for each category. You know, a sentence or two. It doesn't have to be, you know, a real long paragraph. So, I've got an example or two written down here. Okay, say for a friend. My purpose is to befriend and love a few people well, who will in turn love, challenge, and hold me accountable. And that's pretty simple, right? So how hard would it be if you, let's say finances are your future. I am financially secure, you know, money is, or yeah, what was I going to say? I have no problem paying my bills. Whatever makes sense to you, a little purpose statement. So, number 4 is envision the future and write it out as if it's now. Say, I wanted my camper, I wanted to go camping across the United States, so I don't remember the exact wording because I can't, but I saw myself in, I think it was around 3 or 5 years. I'm in my camper, I'm driving down the road, I see beautiful mountains or I'm driving through Utah and I see beautiful mountains in the background, and, just kind of live out your fantasy, or your goal, whatever, as if you're doing it right now, okay? It's kind of fun. Use your imagination, And even if this is why I only did it 5 years, because some people can't think even further than that. Some people can't even think till next week. It's hard to plan. But there's got to be something, even if you can't think, that you've always in the back of your mind. Maybe you want to go back to school. That's pretty easy. It really is these days. I get online and there's one place where I take a lot of my trainings. They always have these $25 sales. They're usually like $199, $299, and every month a couple different classes go on sale. So if I see something, I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta take that, And I've got a couple right now I'm signed up for and I haven't even taken yet because it's all, as you, or yeah, what do you call it? You get on and do them as you can at your own timing and everything, and you get a little certificate at the end. It's not, that particular thing is not, you won't earn a bachelor's degree, but you will learn everything, there's financial things. There's everything there. It's amazing, free education is the best. There's tons of it on YouTube. Like, you're probably here because you're learning, okay? So, now, envisioning was just envisioning it, and then number 5 is write it out, okay? And use a present tense. And now is the time you're going to set a goal date, okay? You can change the date. I'll tell you, the reason, if you looked at the last video, the catching up one, I had said that I'd even write down a goal date for the RV, and guess what? It still happened. The reason I didn't is because I wasn't planning at the time. I did write down I'm traveling and stuff, but what was I going to say about that? Now I totally lost my concentration. I had originally, my first goal was to get stuff cleaned up around here and get rid of the trailer that I talked about in the last video, yada, yada, yada. And that ended up taking, I think I had a goal date of like a year, because it is a lot of stuff, and I worked, and, it ended up still 5 years later, we're on the tail end now, yay! The guy was supposed to finish it over the weekend. Where are you, Aaron? No, his son got hurt, his helper, so he'll hopefully be here today or tomorrow. So, set a goal date. It's okay if you just say, 5 years from now, okay, today's whatever date, set that date. If you can't think of a date, maybe you have a retirement date coming up and you want to go on vacation. Well, guess what? Some date right after retirement. Yeah, that is your reward for working so hard. Then you need to plan your steps, okay? So, like when I was thinking about getting a camper, I, started researching online. Again, this is my second time around looking for a camper, or looking into the lifestyle I want. A couple years ago, when my husband was alive, he's like, are you freaking nuts? How are we going to make a living? He didn't get it, So I get it. So, put a date, plan it out. So, in the case of getting the camper, I had to look at, what are costs for campers approximately for what I want? Do I want to buy new, used? How big do I want? Do I want to drive it? Do I want to tow it? That's all part of the research. Then, how much do campgrounds typically cost if you stay in a campground? I'm not in the West where I can boondock in the middle of nowhere. that is one of my goals. And I did set a goal for when I take off next year. So, you want to write down the date, the steps, what's it going to cost? Then break it down. Do I have enough per month to, if it isn't the case of traveling with your camper, going to another country for a year, can you financially do it? How are you going to, financially do it? Are you going to start? How much do you need to save? Do you have to pay down your debt? I paid off my house, paid off my car, bought my next car for cash because I did not want any more debt. Of course, then I went and financed the camper, but it's not for overly long, and I could pay double and get it done. So, let's see. Do your research. Yep. So, another example is say if you want to improve your health, you could write down something like, I, Carol Lee, will run 4 times a week, and I will drink the X amount of water. I will make healthy food choices every day, and even I will record them in my journal. That way, if you're not losing weight, you can look, and there may be a certain food that isn't necessarily fattening, but it could be contributing, say if you weren't losing weight. I know I had a friend that said cheese and, there was something else. Cheese and potatoes? Something like that. Every time she ate them, she didn't lose, or it kind of like cut her weight loss for a couple of days because she was like losing a pound every couple of days or something. I think she was on the keto diet then, and who knows if that's healthy or not. So I'd give that time and see. Another one, your finances, like I said, you could say, oh, this is back to your purpose. Oh, I forgot about that. Did I say that about how you want to write a purpose? Okay. You want to write a purpose in there too. Like, my purpose is to be a good steward. Oh, okay, yes. Like I mentioned with a friend, your purpose is to be a good friend. Say for finances, my purpose is to be a good steward of the financial resources at my disposal. Okay? Maybe in your future, I never worry about money. I follow a budget, keeping some money out for my fun, or just whatever, out at your disposal. I am debt free and have 6 months worth of expenses on hand in case of emergency. I give generously to those who are less fortunate than me. Okay. And I don't know if any of you saw, I want to say it's on my blog. I've got a blog too. I'm trying to remember which one. It must be on my Coaching on Wheels blog, or Life Coaching on Wheels. It's, I forgot what the name of it is. Bless others and be blessed. And it's so true. You give to others, and it does come back to you. I'm telling you, every time I've ever given to others, given my 10% at church, even when I'm like hungry and it's like, oh, it's really hard, having some tough times, but I still diligently did it, and better things came all the time when I did it. It's just, I guess it's the way God takes care of us, or blesses us for blessing others. All right, commitments. So that's going to be your plan. Like I said, I had to go through and say, okay, I've got to pay off my debt. I got to do. So, I had to come up with a plan. How much am I going to save every week? Investing, when you save money, if you can, have it automatically taken out of your account. That way, because you'll find excuses not to make it to the bank to pay it, or, gee, this week I need that money. I can't do without it. Whereas if it was gone, you wouldn't even know. And I proved that to myself, like, I'd say 25 years ago, approximately. I had just come back from Oregon. My first husband and I moved out there 2 weeks after we got married. And 9 months later, he decided he didn't want to be married anymore. And I'm like, so after messing around with him, oh, yes, I want to be married. No, I don't. Yeah. After a few months, I'm like, bye, dude, I got to go. Grabbed the kids and came back to New York. So I got a job. I stayed with my sister for about a month, got a job, saved up a little money. A landlord was kind and said, yeah, you could pay me every month on the deposit. Just give me the first month's rent. So that got me started again. So then I needed a car, or a better car. I think I'd gotten one. Did I have a car yet? Maybe I didn't even have one yet. Um, and I worked at a place where I had a credit union. So I'm like, you know what? Automatically put this much in. I think I started off with like $5 a week. And after, so many weeks or months or whatever, I'm like, wow, I didn't even miss it. So then I went up to like $10 and 20, and just, I think I ended up with like 50 a month or something I was taking out, or maybe even more. I don't know. I was a single mother, so it couldn't have been too much. And it was like 25 years ago. But it was enough where I eventually I think I had to finance a car, but I had like a really good down payment, and I had a really good job, so it all worked out well. So that's one way to save money. And the woman I said that I saw the 26 weeks of saving money, that's her thing, is have it automatically taken out. Then, you won't even miss it, seriously. And if you want to talk about not really missing money, I find it hilarious. This blows my mind how this happens. Why does it happen? But I was reading on, what's it called? Some kind of frugal Facebook page, anyways. And they were talking about how do you save money. And some people are like, oh, I save all my quarters. And when I have a jar this big, it ends up being $200. And other people are like, oh, I save every $1 bill, or I save every $5 bill, or, something to that effect. So I'm like, I think I'll start saving every $5 bill. I thought I don't get them that often, but enough that, after a while, maybe it'll equal something. Who knows? And I already save money, but I mean, this is just besides, okay? So, I swear, I had a couple fives the first week. I'm like, well, gee, what the heck? I got to give up this money. Oh my gosh. One day, like the next week, I want to say it was like I don't know what day it was. Doesn't matter. I'd gone to the bank anyways, and I'd taken $100 out, for just if I need anything over the week where you can't use credit. So I go to Family Dollar, okay, and I buy something small. I think I had like $2 or $3 plus the 100. And this thing might have been $5 or something. I don't even know. So I said, I hope you could break 100. I really didn't feel like using a card for something so small. And the guy goes, yeah, I could do that. And I'm like, okay, cool. He starts giving me my money back, and he's like, 5, 10, 15. And I'm like, what the heck? I end up getting 11 $5 bills, $55. And my daughter was with me, and I'm like, crap. And so I told her what I started doing, saving $5 bills. I'm like, that's a lot of money, $55. And she said, well, you don't have to put it all in. I said, no, I'm going to have faith. I'm just going to put it all in. And, if I get really desperate for money, then it's there. But I'm going to do my best not to touch it. So it really didn't even bother me. A week later, didn't I have one day where I got $15 back? And I'm like, are you kidding me? Come on. But then again, look at this. I probably already have like 100 and some odd dollars saved up in a couple weeks. And honestly, so far I've been okay. Yeah, last week I was going to go to a car show, check it out, have a hot dog, But I'm like, well, all this money is stuck in this $5 dumb fund, right? Maybe I'll just skip driving there. It's a couple bucks. A hot dog's a couple bucks. Soda's a couple. Save the money, because guess what? All these $5 bills are gone. Same thing. Where did I go this weekend? Or I was gonna go. I don't. But I've had in stupid little ways. Because if I had just kept up my stupid little ways, I wouldn't have any money, So yeah, it did kind of hurt, but I'm not missing anything. I didn't get a coffee when I went to get gas. I'll get over it. So just stupid little things like that. I'm like, but I haven't had to break into it to pay bills, buy groceries, anything like that. Though I did go without milk and creamer for several days, 2 weeks in a row, because You know, the money was somewhere else. It's okay though. So where was I going there? So did I do all the things? Oh, okay. So that was number 5. A lot in there. Cut at least a. Oh, where'd I get that one? Oh, that was one of the commitments. Okay. Say a financial commitment. You could say, I will save X amount of dollars per paycheck. Get it automatically taken out. You could try to cut monthly expenses. One suggestion was $100, or no, I think they said $200. I'm like, come on. Some people, there is no way, you know. Another way to save money, I just thought of, and this is again, I think it's number 1 from the woman that I'll try to remember to put the link in later, is save 1% more of your paycheck than you have been. Everybody's like, save more, I'm dying already. 1% is $10 out of every 1,000. So you can probably afford to put another buck or two in the bank every week, and it will add up a lot faster, especially if it's an interest-bearing account, you know? I mean, you may not get a lot, but every penny counts, right? And number 6. Review your plan. Now, I've got weekly, monthly, yearly. That's what you would do if you had the whole, well, you should anyways. Yeah, but even, because we are doing a 5-year, not just a month or something. But just review it every now and then. Now, like I said, I haven't even been able to look at mine since I made it. It's like really funny. Funny, but not. I'll just have to do it over. But I'm always writing goals down. And it's funny, sometimes, like years ago, I'm trying to think of one that actually came true. Or not came true, but happened. I've written it down years ago and totally kind of forgot about it. It was like a long-term goal. Maybe it was buying my house or, by this time. And I found the goal later, years later, and what I had written had happened. Somewhere I've got written down I wanted my Jeep by a certain date, and I got it by then or earlier. I find a lot of times my stuff comes a lot earlier once I write it down. You'll find that when you get your mind, once you put it in your mind, write it down, you're not just thinking it and then it's sort of like you're writing it, which seems to cement it in your mind, and your mind starts looking for ways to make these things happen. So what I want you to do is to write out a life plan. If you want, you can share it down below in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, because I've got a couple of really good topics coming up, including different ways to save money. So anyways, until next time, peace out, love you, and have a great day and the rest of the week. Talk to you later. Bye.